Hey everybody, Yankee here. Now, before we get started, I want to let everyone know that I am rage making this video today because I am as irritated as hell, ticked off. The GOA wrote a story today about how Donald Trump is finally serving the Second Amendment. He's finally keeping his promises on the Second Amendment. He wrote an executive order that is going to get rid of all the Biden stuff and, start a whole government effort towards getting rid of gun regulations. And, I'm no fan of Donald Trump. I don't worship at the altar of Orange Jesus, but I also don't think he's a demon sent to destroy the country. I'm somewhere in between. I think he's a politician, and he'll do only what he has to do when it comes to serving the people. He'll spend most of his time serving his own interests and the interests of his billionaire cronies, which seems to be the case so far with Donald Trump. But according to the GOA, he finally stepped up and did what's right for the people and what's right for the Second Amendment. And on that, I'm going to call bullshit. No, he didn't. This executive order he signed yesterday, by the time you see this, does nothing of the sort. He basically just signed an executive order that tells Pam Bondi, who is not pro-gun, to take a look at all the stuff Biden did. All that anti-gun legislation that Biden passed, which was none. And all those anti-gun executive orders he made that actually restricted people's rights, which were none. Because he was a totally ineffective president. He didn't get anything done. And that includes stuff for his billionaire donors like Bloomberg, who wanted him to pass all this anti-gun stuff. He did none of it. And his executive orders were smoke screens to cover up the fact that he did nothing. We didn't lose any rights under Biden. He didn't have the power, the pull with Congress to get anything done. He was a lame duck president from the moment he was elected because people didn't think he would live till a second term. And people definitely didn't think he would run. But here's the thing. Trump gets in now. All he's doing is, we're going to look into getting rid of those executive orders that did nothing. That's doing nothing. Why do they have to do this? Oh, the GOA's like, he's laying the stage to actually do something later. It looks like he's doing nothing, but, this is just the first step in doing something. No, it's not. It's instead of doing something. It's more bullshit. And people are falling for it. And the GOA, of course, wants to shove that down people's throats because the GOA wants to stay at the forefront and keep making lots of money. They don't want things to be better for the Second Amendment. Their coffers would run dry pretty quick if our rights weren't at threat. So they don't want that at all. But they do want to make people think something's being done. Because they promise people, if we elect these people, things will get done. But then it never does. And they're trying to cover for that to show you that, we're doing something, we're being successful. No, they're not. They're part of the problem. They perpetuate the problem because they profit off of it. They don't want Donald Trump doing anything substantial. And with this executive order, he didn't. He didn't do anything substantial. Telling Pam Bondi, who's not pro-gun, to look at these things. That's doing nothing. Why not just rescind everything? Why not make an executive order today stating that the ATF is to no longer engage in enforcing this law, which really didn't get passed as a law. They just implemented on their own. He could have done that today. You don't need to set no stage for that. What they did today does nothing. Donald Trump has done nothing. He has not kept his word to the people in the gun community, period, at all. He's been busy doing what's right for his billionaire friends. You don't have to look far to see that when Elon Musk, who took tens of billions of dollars in tax money over the last couple of years, is like, look, this organization got $500,000 for condoms. We really saved the country. That's a drop in the bucket compared to just what you got, much less what other big businesses got. And that money was actually going to buy condoms for like South Africa, et cetera, to stop the spread of AIDS. And it wasn't that much money. The government has spent like $300,000 total over the last 5 years. So they lied about the amount. And that was to stop AIDS so that those people don't come over here seeking refugee status because of, viral emergencies, pandemic stuff. So it's bullshit. They're just doing what's good for the rich people. If they cared about small people instead of taking away the IRS's ability to go after long-term cases, which is usually rich people, they would have said these ridiculous new rules about Cash App, etc., where the grandmother who crochets things and sells them on Etsy now has to make sure she reports that or she's going to jail. They'd get rid of that stuff. They don't care about us. They aren't honoring any of their promises to us. And this is just another example of that. The GOA is full of crap. They always have been. They are NRA 2.0. If you trust the GOA after the NRA, well, then you're an idiot. And there's no point in me trying to convince you otherwise because you're too stupid to see what's going on in front of you. And as far as Donald Trump, yes, I still hope he does the best. Heck, I got in trouble recently with a lot of my fan base, and I don't like to say fan base, a lot of my viewers, I should say, because I made a t-shirt that says, he is your president and you should hope he does well. And people left my channel, unsubbed from Patreon because they're like, I can't believe you're supporting that Nazi. I'm like, I'm supporting a politician in a way to say, I hope they do the right thing. That doesn't mean I think they're going to do the right thing, and it doesn't mean I'm supporting the things they're doing. I call them on their crap, but I hope for the best. But in this case, we're not getting the best. We're getting more of the same. We're getting garbage, we're getting nothing, and we're getting groups like the NRA who profit off that nothing, telling us it's something. When it isn't. Do something, Donald Trump. Actually sign an executive order that actually gets rid of something. Doesn't just blow smoke up people's asses. Do that. And then maybe we'll believe that you're not going to turn on us. That you're not going to do just whatever benefits you and your friends. But right now, doesn't look like that's the case. Doesn't look like he's serving the people at all. Looks like he's still doing more of the same, like every other politician does. So either step up or shut up, Trump. Admit that you're not going to do anything for the Second Amendment or actually do something. Those are the only two options. Pretending to do something. Laying the groundwork to do something. That doesn't count. Do something. You have all the power. You have the presidency. You have the Senate. You have the House. The Supreme Court is on your side. So do something. There's no excuses not to. This bullshit, like what was signed today, that, like I said, is just appeasing the stupidest people in the Second Amendment community. And those people are being, encouraged by one of the most corrupt organizations in the Second Amendment, the GOA, which I say is, like I said, NRA 2.0. So now's the time. People need to stop falling for this type of garbage. Pay attention to what's actually being done and demand that Donald Trump live up to his promises and start doing what's right for the people and the Second Amendment.